Wow! Incredible!
I hate to say it, I don't want to sound like that guy, but this needs to be said.
You know what? I'm about to say it. I don't care that you broke your elbow.
Huh? TV shows, cartoons especially, suck nowadays. And before you start typing, okay boomer, or whatever y'all YNs nowadays say in the comments, I ain't even 25, so chill with that. But hear me out, I love cartoons, especially the prime of Cartoon Network. Period, I would say from 1995-ish, with classics like Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory, Courage the Cowardly Dog, and one of my favorites, for those with elite ball knowledge, Cow and Chicken. All the way to 2013, coincidentally the exact year that Teen Titans Go aired. Now don't get me wrong, the shows that started in the early 2010s absolutely carried the network until a lot of their endings around 2018, such as Regular Show, Adventure Time, The Amazing World of Gumball, The Problem Solvers, Uncle Grandpa. Good morning. I was joking about the last two. Or was I? Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I'd love to rewatch some Problem Solvers episodes just to see how absolutely unhinged my comedy standards were back then. Like, what was I thinking?
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Let me know in the comments if y'all want to see more vids on something like that. But here's the thing that might be controversial. I genuinely believe my generation had the last good cartoons before everything got Teen Titans Go-ified, for lack of better terms. Because what happened after 2013, what made Cartoon Network go from producing absolute masterpieces to, well,
hate it.
But my name is Dev Unchained, and I was at my day job, scrolling through Hulu. Crazy that this app won't exist much longer with Disney Plus integration on the way, or already happened by the time you see this video. And the Looney Tunes show was playing live on Cartoon Network, and this random episode, Season 1, Episode 14, Newspaper Thief, for one, gave me nostalgia, and two, it just showed me how in the little ways, how the writers and producers of these cartoons used to care about the product they put out, or were given the capacity to display their artistic vision without the end goal just being merchandise and how many more seasons can we make this franchise dry.
And then we're gonna go on even more adventures after that, Morty, and you're gonna keep your mouth shut about it, Morty, because the world is full of idiots that don't understand what's important. Money.
And ruin all of the good faith that has been built up in the fan base over the years. Hence Teen Titans Go still existing going into its 10th season in 2025, maybe 2026. And this is why I'm making this episode in the first place. The Looney Tunes show, like peak fiction of the era, did not just slap familiar characters in front of kids and leave it at that. They actually put thought into what adapting these characters into a modern suburban setting would look like, sound like, and feel like. This is what separated the peak era from the current cash grab era of Cartoon Network and entertainment as a whole. Anyway, salty Gen Z rant over. Let's get into the episode, which starts with Daffy looking for breakfast, where he stumbles across a carrot pot that becomes a running joke throughout the episode.
Whoa. Let The Rock clarify something. The Rock loves pie.
He points out how odd it is before a valid Bugs jump scare. Side note, the intro was a banger. 11-year-old trumpet player Dev was really on that at the time. Bugs tells Daffy about the dinner party tonight, devised by Bugs in order to have Daffy apologize for all his wrongdoings across the neighborhood, which includes a long list of shenanigans.
You just made the list!
Such as 4th of July, where Daffy set the cul-de-sac ablaze. In response, he said, "Freedom isn't free." Ain't that right, Daffy? Burka. On Easter, he sprayed the entire neighborhood with a military-grade egg-shooting machine gun. And most egregiously, and my favorite joke of the entire episode, on Columbus Day, this nigga Daffy releases a swarm of referentially plague-infested rats on the locals. Did y'all hear what I just said? Daffy dropped plague-infested rats on the locals on Columbus Day.
Nice.
Producers, writers, I was unfamiliar with your bag. This kind of woke would be cancelled by that orange peel in office today. And this is how history should be referenced for the youth, who might then want to pay more attention in a history class for things like that. Develop their critical thinking skills and make them want to look further into history, not just numb them like much of the shows of today. This is what made the Looney Tunes show special for a whole generation of kids and parents. They did not talk down to the kids. They made jokes that work on multiple ages and levels of maturity. The kids laugh at the chaos of Daffy Duck, while the seasoned viewers catch the historical commentary. These layers are missing in modern Cartoon Network's major programming. Bugs doesn't want to be sued for Daffy's wrongdoings, and as a law school dropout, I can confirm at least 4 crimes or torts Daffy committed in this episode alone: felony vandalism, illegal firework possession, reckless or illegal firework use that causes injury or damage, illegal wildlife relocation, amongst other things. Daffy agrees to apologize to his neighbors, but he walks outside saying, "The suburbs fostering the illusion of success since the 1950s. I guess the burbs only have been around for less than 100 years.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
You learn something new every day." Then the title of the episode comes into play, as Daffy thinks his newspaper has been stolen, as he drops not just 1, but 2 mugs. In between an amazing bit where Bugs slapped Daffy out of his trance, only for them to forget why they were fighting in the first place. Only for Daffy to end up dropping Bugs' mug too, in shock over his newspaper all over again. Hold up! Look at the form on this backhand!
No, that's a lot of damage!
Wait, look at this action frame of Bugs.
Oh my.
The slapstick comedy of the Looney Tunes show still emulates the charm that made them famous all those years ago. Bugs knows Daffy ain't reading any newspaper, so Daffy revealed he's been building a paper-mache float of himself. And when asked what parade he's in, Daffy says he is the parade.
Really, nigga?
Not gonna lie, I feel that, nigga. Bugs jokes, "What did your parents do to you?" And no lie, Bugs, I ask these 304s that all the time. We go on a trip around the neighborhood, where Bugs is telling them about the dinner party that starts at 8, but Daffy takes the chance to accuse each of them of stealing his newspaper.
Accusations!
These are not accusations. This is
False accusations!
And
despite claiming he'd never do such a thing. And the first thing he does is press a 90-year-old grandmother who looks like a prime Life Alert customer.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Shout out Yosemite Sam. He has a very interesting characterization in the show. Like many characters compared to their Golden Age counterparts, they turn the rootin', tootin', gun-shootin' Wild West cowboy into a trailer park analogous mooching neighbor who goes to therapy for his anger issues, which, just like Lola Bunny's massive departure from Space Jam in this show, it works for this interpretation, as everything is aligned to the neighborhood aesthetic, and that's what made this show such a great adaptation of the characters we know and love. This is genius character work. Instead of just dropping Sam in suburbia and calling it a day, they actually thought about what his core traits would look like in a modern setting, such as his anger issues or his confrontational nature. But now he's your annoying neighbor who needs therapy instead of a typical cartoon foil. That's character adaptation. That's modernization. The witch in this episode is hella black coated.
What do you mean by that?
She sounds like Bubby from Flapjack. I'm sure it is. I love hearing a familiar voice actor. Bugs assumes she was holding a broom, that she was going somewhere. But she dismisses Bugs, says she drives a minivan that Daffy later adds to his apology list by ramming in every car in a 5-mile radius, looking like he was playing Burnout after he was spooked from seeing what was probably Gossamer's eye. After all that, Daffy says. Shout out Carl Anthony Towns. Porky raises the first valid point of the plot, that Daffy can just get another newspaper. Daffy goes on a rant about he lives to a high moral standard. He treats people's things with respect, and he places the virtue of trust above all else. Porky's face, man. Says no you don't. Porky and Daffy are one of the best combos in Looney Tunes history. If you never saw The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, go check it out while it's still on HBO Max, or whatever it's called when you see this video. The way the name of the service changes every day or year, it's almost as if Warner Brothers doesn't want you to see some of their classics, because they've been on such a warpath deleting all traces of them. And honestly, I will take the time right now to put Warner Brothers on blast. Stop taking my childhood classics off of legal streaming. Beginning at the start of 2025 and even slightly before, they removed at least half of the old DC animated projects such as Justice League, JLU, but also Cartoon Network classics that could only be watched on the service such as Ed, Edd and Eddy, Tom and Jerry, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and even the original Teen Titans. Almost like these billion-dollar corporations know they're selling garbage and want to erase access to the quality programming of past. My future children will have access to all the peak, no worries. This is why I'm a Mugiwara pirate, and that will never change.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Back to the episode. Daffy uses his D1 manipulation skills to get Porky to help investigate the newspaper thief, not tell Bugs about it. Porky says the key to the mystery lies in the ending. 9 out of 10 mystery novels end the same way. Daffy responds with a flattering picture of the author. That's a knee slapper, not gonna lie. No, silly duck. They end up with all their suspects gathered under one roof, usually at a dinner party staged as an elaborate trap. Daffy takes all the credit for Porky's plan, in typical narcissist fashion, plans to execute such at the dinner party. We then get a Merry Melodies section featuring Taz, the Tasmanian Devil. I don't really care for this one, but my favorite Merry Melodies is the grilled cheese one with Elderfudd. I still quote this one to this day.
Grilled cheese, if you please.
Daffy then greets the guests, saying, "Welcome, suspects." Bug sets the stage for Daffy to apologize. He made carrot pie, and Yosemite Sam is sitting at the dinner table not going for the milk cookies. He said he wanted to get some fine shit to pull up.
What?
Get my boy Sam on an episode of Pop the Balloon ASAP. Yosemite Sam for Love Island season whatever the hell they're on. Daffy sets up a poorly hidden speaker while he does a murder mystery monologue from the closet with dollar store level effects, including a gag where Gossamer's missing a plate that Daffy had to replace, and Daffy only seemingly knows two numbers, number 5 and 3. So everyone ends up with a 3 when he sets up the reveal of who stole his newspaper. Daffy outwardly accuses everyone of stealing his newspaper. Bugs gives a crazy speech that I can't even repeat. I'll try to play it though.
Really? You're really going there? Yeah, I'm going there. I will go there. And you do not want to be there when I get there. Because when I get there, I will be so there that you will wish you had stayed right here.
Daffy exposes Bugs' fear of being sued by the neighbors and how silly it is that Bugs made carrot pie instead of carrot cake like a normal person. Bunny. Anthropomorphic animated character. Whatever. Bugs eats the pie to validate himself. Nobody want a slice of that, big bro, not gonna lie. Even the witch told Daffy to read the internet as opposed to that antiquated collection of papers. Yosemite Sam says, "You heard the witch. I mean lady." I mean, it made me wonder, is witch a slur in this universe? Anyway, Daffy is incapable of saying the word sorry. My boy got that type of pride they talk about in the Bible. Daffy's ego is so large, he can't say the word sorry. Another example of the little characterization that the Looney Tunes show excels at. Closest he gets to "I'm sorry" is, "I'm solly," "I'm soggy," "I'm sarmy." Granny breaks up the arguing, saying that she actually likes Daffy, saying that her life is boring and that Daffy's antics truly light up the neighborhood. Everyone agrees that Daffy does truly spice up the neighborhood. "Most interesting Columbus Day ever," says the witch. And Yosemite Sam, of all people, explains what Columbus Day is all about. colonizers spreading nothing but lies and disease to the locals, even explaining how Daffy's gesture of freeing the rats into the neighborhood represented the Europeans' ruthless use of chemical warfare in the form of disease to wipe out locals from their native lands. Mind you, we are watching a 2010s children's show in the middle of the day. Let that sink in. Yosemite Sam just gave a historically accurate breakdown of Columbus's negative impact on indigenous people. And it worked. It was funny, it was smart, and it respected the audience's intelligence while not being too much for the kids who, like Daffy and everyone else in the room, can just laugh along. Bug says, "So no one wants to sue me? Of course not. Have some faith in your neighbors," the witch says. "Thanks, Bubby. We'll always love you." Daffy ends the episode still asking who stole his newspaper as the scene fades to black. Then we get a crazy Wile E. Coyote versus the Roadrunner CGI cartoon short. As a kid, I really liked these, and I was always a fan of the original, but in hindsight, this CGI style was a great way to modernize the two for this era. Also, plot twist, after the episode's over, it's revealed that no one stole Daffy's newspaper. He had just forgot to renew his subscription. That nigga just like me for real. Beyond the nostalgia of revisiting one of the most underrated cartoons of the 2010s, this episode matters to me because I miss the days when cartoons and, dare I say, TV shows and anime in general had a profound level of quality and commitment to putting out projects that could be enjoyed in a timeless manner, not just something released to pacify or brainwash the masses, or numbing the brains of the adults who have to watch along with them. I mean, just think about the random tangents we were able to explore in this episode alone. Historical education exposing the meaning of the worst, most undeserved racist holiday of all time, Columbus Day. Modern adaptations of characters that paid homage to the classics without hindering creativity. Layers of comedy that can be enjoyed by people of all ages. And social commentary on the likes that just got Jimmy Kimmel suspended. An animation that 14 years down the line looks like it just came out yesterday. I truly appreciate my childhood for having shows that, even when tuning in on a random Wednesday afternoon, immerse you back into their worlds like you never left the couch, eating your favorite snacks as a child. To me, the difference between then and now is that shows like the Looney Tunes show weren't afraid to challenge their audience. They trusted that the kids could handle smart and witty humor, and maybe even learn something new in the process. Now, everything's dumbed down to lowest common denominator. We went from shows that would elevate the medium with each new debut to shows that just occupy screen time and likely have an effect on brainwashing the masses as well. With all that being said, my name is Dev Unchained. Thanks for joining me on this random journey into my childhood with a fresh lens. If you like videos like this or have any suggestions, don't be afraid to comment, like, and subscribe. I appreciate all interactions here. So please, y'all, have a good one. Stay unchained.